this is the title for our CHM 256 presentation, which is Volumetric Analysis, an application of titration in wastewater management.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. I will start this presentation with the introduction. What is volumetric analysis? Volumetric analysis is a method in quantitative chemical analysis in which the amount of substance is determined by the measurement of the volume that the substance occupies to determine the unknown concentration of a known reactant. Besides, there are four common types of volumetric, such as acid-base titration, complexometrics, precipitation, and redox. Not only that, volumetric analysis also referred as titration. Titration is a technique used in analytical chemistry to determine the concentration of the substance in a solution. It involves the controlled addition of a solution, which is the titrant of known concentration, to react with a solution containing the analyte, which is the substance of interest, until a desired chemical reaction is complete. The reaction is typically monitored by using an indicator or an instrumental method to detect a specific change in the solution, such as a color change, a color in electrical potential, or the pH. The point at which the reaction is considered complete is called the endpoint, or also known as equivalence point. There are two types of titration, which are known as direct titration and back titration. But we will discuss more further about direct titration because it is related to topics of this presentation, which is the application of wastewater analysis. Direct titration is a commonly used technique in the application of wastewater analysis. It involves the direct addition of a titrant to the wastewater sample to determine the concentration of a specific analyte. In direct titration, when an analyte was added to the known titrant, it will produce a product. Here are a few examples of direct titration methods applied in wastewater analysis, such as acid-base titration, chloride titration, sulfide titration, and total hardness titration. The choice of titration method depends on the specific analyte of interest and the desired measurement parameter. Proper sample preparation, accurate measurement, and careful selection of indicators or detection methods are essential in order to obtain reliable results in the wastewater from the analysis. Okay, that's all from me. Let's move on to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Siti Nurhashida binti Herman, and now let's move on to the theory. So, what is wastewater? Wastewater is the polluted form of water generated from rainwater runoff and human activities like industrial sewage. So why we need to use titration in wastewater management? This is because titration is used to determine the concentration of various constituents in wastewater. Next, there are four types of titration, which is acid-base titration, chloride titration, sulfide titration, and total hardness titration. For wastewater management, we usually use acid-base titration. This is because it involves the additions of standard dyes of an acid or base to the wastewater sample until neutralization reaction occur, which indicate the change in color pH. The volumes of the acid or base solution will require to analyze the sample that can be used to calculate the concentration of the acid or base in wastewater. For more information, to maintain a secure supply of drinking water, reliable testing of key variables is necessary to support wastewater treatment and decontamination process. The contamination of wastewater is monitored by analyzing the pH level of the water with the help of a simple titration method. And lastly, the cleaning of the wastewater also depends on the contaminating species.
Assalamualaikum and hello. My name is Hayati binti Bakti. Now, I will explain the methodology part. What is the methodology for the application of titration in wastewater management? So basically, regulatory agencies frequently set limits on the acidity or alkalinity of wastewater discharge. A quantitative measurement of these factors is made possible by acid-base titration, enabling wastewater treatment facilities to monitor and prove compliance with legal requirements. Operators can make sure that the wastewater effluent meets the required pH parameters before discharge by routinely conduct acid-base titration. So, for acid-base titration in wastewater management, the methodology involves the following steps. So the first one is sample collection. A representative wastewater sample was collected from the specific point in the wastewater system. To obtain the sample, the proper sampling techniques were followed. The second one is sample preparation. The wastewater sample was filtered to remove any suspended solids and adjust the pH to a suitable range for the titration. Next is the selection of titrant and indicator. A standardized 0.1 molar sodium hydroxide solution was chosen as the titrant, and phenolphthalein was selected as the pH indicator. And then we have calibration of equipment. The burette and other equipment used for the titration were calibrated to ensure accurate value measurements. For titration procedure, a few drops of phenolphthalein indicator were added, and the content was titrated with a standardized sodium hydroxide solution. Next is the endpoint detection. The titration was continued until phenolphthalein changed from pink to colorless at the end point of the titration. Next is volume measurement. The volume of sodium hydroxide solution required to reach the endpoint was recorded. And finally, calculation and reporting. The acidity of the wastewater sample was calculated using the volume and the concentration of sodium hydroxide.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Shafiqah binti Shariman, and for this presentation, I'm going to present the example of the result and lastly the conclusion. Now, let's take a look at an example of the result. Let's assume that in the experiment, a wastewater sample required 18.6 ml of 0.1 m sodium hydroxide solution to reach the endpoint. Keep in mind, to calculate the acidity of the wastewater sample, we need to multiply the volume of base solution used with normality of base solution multiplied with equivalent weight of H2SO4. So in this case, the volume of base solution used is 18.6 ml. Before we proceed, make sure to convert the volume into L, and the new volume will be 0.0186 liter. As we prepared the solution as a 0.1 solution, the normality of the base solution will be 0.1 N, and the equivalent weight of H2SO4 is 98 Ng per mol. Then, transfer all the value into the formula, and the acidity of the wastewater sample is determined to be 0.182 Ng per L H2SO4. With the result, the findings of the acid-base titration showed that the wastewater sample had a specific level of acidity. After adding 18.6 ml of 0.1 m sodium hydroxide solution, the neutralization endpoint was attained, demonstrating the presence of acidic components in the wastewater. Lastly, the conclusion. Acid-base titration is a useful analytical method for managing wastewater because it offers crucial details on the properties and chemical composition of water samples, as it is also a key step in determining the water quality. Quantifying the amount of acidic and basic chemicals in the wastewater sample is very helpful. Titration aids in evaluating the potential environmental impact and developing effective treatment options by establishing the acid or base concentration. That's all from us. Thank you.